What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Study Hall here on TCG University for the UniVersus card game. My name's Tam, and I'm joined by
James
and Travis.
What Study Hall is for the unenrolled is we've taken a bunch of your guys' UniVersus topics as well as some of our own, and we sit down and we discuss them for amusement, entertainment, and knowledge. So with that said, James, how's your week in UniVersus been, my dude?
I've played one game of the deck I'm planning on taking to National. One match of the deck I'm planning on taking to National.
And how was that?
I won very well.
Yeah?
Yeah. I lost one game, but I didn't see any of my defense against Spirit Gun.
Yeah?
And then just slowly went downhill from there.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
But I didn't lose because of anything else. I lost because Spirit Gun is too free.
Spirit Gun's pretty free. It's got some pretty big
Other than that,
stats.
I handedly won.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What were you fighting against?
Chase.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. A real hard game. Right.
No.
All
How about
right.
you, buddy?
So, my
You
week.
recently lost one game to Asimov Kettering.
So my weekend at UniVersus has been pretty good. I went to LWG recently and got second at their locals playing Hiei under Chaos, and then I also built Taisei under Death. I think that character is pretty good now because of Spirit Shotgun being a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because you just give Spirit Shotgun gauge 1 and then say your next gauge attack ignores progressive. And it's almost guaranteed to hit them unless they stop the half block thing. That and Moon Ritual Dance is just a really good card.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's been my week. Pretty good.
I've done nothing because I'm not going to nationals, and there's no point. That's really it. I've been editing. I recorded a couple best damn decks. One of which is out. One of which I have to finish editing tonight. And yeah, are you going to nationals? Is that
No.
happening? No.
Wish I could.
Yeah.
I'm not either.
Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, I won't be at nationals. First major I'm going to miss, and it sucks. It does mean that I'm going to be making a very, very triumphant Worlds return, to the point where I am planning on taking a week off of work to go to Worlds. Yeah,
Yeah, let's win some teams.
I'm not gonna high five you. So,
That's a pretty smart choice.
Yeah.
Thank you. I just realized. I was just like, wow, what an asshole.
yep.
Yikes.
So
Thanks for being a bro.
no problem. So, topics wise for UniVersus, the only thing I could possibly think of is community based. The only thing I could think of was inside of a community, and we play a lot of. You watch a lot of fighting games on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you watch a lot of fighting games.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. There's something in fighting game communities called heroes and villains, or in wrestling terms, they're faces and heels.
Yeah.
My question is are those good for the community? Do we have any in the community? Without naming any names, obviously, please keep this as nice as possible.
Yeah.
And
Talk about the best heel ever.
and most importantly, are they good for the game as a whole?
Depends on the structure of what really is the heroes versus villains.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because for Melee, Leffen at one point was just a villain.
Correct.
At this point, he's not really a hero, but he's not really the villain too much anymore.
Sure.
He's just the guy that you want him to win, but you'd rather have somebody else win too.
Sure.
So the only time I've ever heard this used in UFS currently was when the Jeremy Ray did the heel turn.
Right.
Yeah. Mature 59.
Yeah. Jeremy Ray is known for being a really honest UniVersus player. He just wants to play some just really solid back and forth UniVersus, and he made a 59 attack card deck and was just fuck
Bop,
it,
bop,
I'm just
bop.
gonna go bop some people.
Kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on it, Travis?
I don't necessarily think we have villains in our community as of current. I definitely know that we have some heroes, or rather people that most new players probably should look up to, our pros, people like Tim Keefe, Kevin Broberg, stuff like that. Shout outs to those guys. But yeah, that's my stance on it.
So I think villains are actually... I think villains are interesting as long as it is... So when we think of villains or heels, we think of the the cocky good guys, the people who are not necessarily the nicest people in the world, but still are doing well at the game, right?
Yeah.
So like we think of actually you saw the I cannot remember the channel. Core Gaming.
Yeah.
Core Gaming video. Have you seen the Core Gaming video?
Which one?
They have a Heroes and Villains one.
I might have watched it. Yeah.
Okay, I actually
I
want to take
also
like
may
a
have
small
watched it.
break and actually watch this video.
So, we're gonna pause
So,
right here,
you
but-
guys, I want you. We'll put a link to the Core video in the description
Tyler, it's up to you.
down below. I'm gonna leave Tyler a note. And watch this video, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. Hopefully you watched the video we just did. And it's called Villains in Competitive Gaming, or Villains in Fighting Games.
Villains and fighting in this.
From Core Gaming's. Type in Core Gaming's Villain, it's the top result. Anyways, do you agree? Do you disagree with the points that he made
Oh, yeah.
in reference to our card game? Obviously, fighting games and card games are separate, but like I treat our game as more like an FGC than like a traditional card game because of how community driven we are, right?
I think I found the villain.
Okay.
I think I found the one villain that I think is consistent across everything so
Okay.
far that I thought of.
Go ahead.
Garrett Brett.
Garrett Brett.
Garrett Brett.
I love it. That is it. Okay, so explain to me why you think Garrett Brett's a villain.
That's
So
a fair
Garrett
point.
Brett has multiple champ cards, enough champ
Absolutely.
cards to build his own champ deck and extend it.
Right.
He is very, very good at this game. Very smart guy. Doesn't play a lot anymore. Doing a lot of life stuff. But
Just got married. Congratulations, Garrett.
yes,
Yep.
very
Congrats.
if you watch our content.
I'll tag him, whatever.
You'll watch our content, Garrett. But like, he gets a very negative rep just because he won so many things for
Yeah.
so long.
Yeah.
Like he won 2 worlds back to back.
Mhm.
He was the first player to do it. Tim Keefe is now the second.
Yeah, but Tim Keefe is the hero, right? Tim Keefe.
So here's the difference.
Yeah.
Garrett Brett, and apologies for this, is a cocky asshole. Sometimes.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim Keefe is the most like apologetic guy.
Oh
I've
man, I
ever-
didn't mean for you to. I
I'm sorry,
wanted
dude.
to tell you about the secret stash. I did.
Yikes.
No, but I totally see what you're saying. There's a difference in mentality and attitude to the point where like Phil Birch I could see as being a
I was gonna
villain.
say,
Oh
right?
yeah, Phil
Yeah,
Birch.
he was one of the ones on my list as well.
But then like you turn around and you've got like Jake Johnson I see as a hero, right?
Yeah.
He's got that little kid luck.
He somehow still has the little kid luck.
Right.
It's been like 3 years right now. He still has the little kid luck.
And so like if we ever get quote unquote big and mainstream and like we actually have like people who care about watching the game, I think heroes are like really, really important.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think they both are actually. Like after watching that video, it's kind of like light and dark. You can't have one without the other.
Wow, how
and
deep.
and they enhance each other by existing.
Yeah.
So like the hero makes the villain look better per se and more interesting to watch, and the villain makes the hero more interesting to watch.
This is why I liked the trash talking videos so much that Mike the commish put on when it came to Worlds, not last year but the year before, because you know who the villain of that whole thing was? Keenan Meadows.
Yeah.
And Keenan Meadows is like one of the nicest people ever. But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hashtag wake up and smell the coffee
Yep.
is a very villainous thing to say after you go and you sweep like 2 or 3 PTCs with that deck.
Yeah.
I think part of the other issue when it comes to our card game versus the FGC is we have top level players. We have quote unquote best of the best. You are not going to not see Jacob Johnson inside of a top. You are not going to not see Jeremy Ray inside of a top. You're not going to not see Phil Birch inside of a top.
We're not
unless
as diverse right now, in my opinion.
No, but what I'm saying is these players are a step above everybody else. They are truly better than most other players in the game, and we're not getting their rivalries to happen. That's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
There's not as much.
There's not enough people consistently topping at a bunch of different events.
There's also not enough people watching those consistent tops
Yeah.
because of how we plan things out. Like
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna do everything here. Well, all the players who lost aren't just gonna show up to day 2 all the time because why would they want to be there? They
Yeah.
don't have to play.
Totally.
They can do other things. They can go enjoy a day.
Yeah.
Where they don't have to play cards.
And that's true.
And get off the mind of like I lost all day yesterday.
So that's how like you fix people coming and watching day 2, because I want to see Phil Birch, who has trash talked all of top 16. I am going to demolish these guys. You either get to see and go watch him lose and bust her out in top 8 because he barely squeaked by in top 16. You get to go watch him bust her out in top 8, or you get to root for the new guy. You get to root for the Chris Bromley, who has only topped
he's an old player.
What?
He's an old player.
I've never heard of Chris Bromley until he top of that Fate deck ever.
He's an older player.
And so I'm super down for Chris to come in and be that underdog in the oh man, he squeaked in at
He's just, like, less
16th.
than everybody.
Holy
He used
shit,
to
I want
play
to jump. I want
the
to win.
He's just like less and all that.
Okay.
The game died.
I'd be super down to see Les come in as the
Oh, yeah.
underdog. Like when you say these players' names, like I
Oh,
want
yeah.
their
I didn't know them beforehand either. They were before my time.
I want there to be this drama that I as a spectator want to care about.
Yeah.
And I think the only way that you can make that drama happen is have villains.
You need a hero first, actually, in my opinion.
Well,
You need that face.
Well, it's like I just said. You can't have light without dark and dark without light and vice versa.
Yeah, but you can always have like Garrett Brett's been around for a while and we've never had a hero. There's nothing to drive the community. It's actually more depressing when, like, no offense to Garrett Brett again. It's more depressing when Garrett tops for people because it's just like, okay.
well, I mean, you could say the same thing about Kevin. Kevin goes and he tops
he
everything
does,
that he
yeah.
goes to.
But like, I don't like so it's Garrett and Jimmy Ray are the only 2 people that I've heard audible groans from, or just boos.
Sure,
Garrett
so-
Brett, Jimmy Ray gets the fan boost.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But like they're the only people I've heard like audible like things from when they top. Like Garrett Brett gets the
Well,
and Jimmy Ray gets the boo.
so that's totally fine. If you watched the video, there's one of the top players that said like, "quote I get energy from the booze."
Yeah.
Which like as long as that is
That's why Jimmy Ray keeps winning.
Yeah.
We keep booing him.
Yeah.
It only further increases his power.
Just comes out with a killing deck and just mollywobs people. I get to watch it on stream 4 matches in a row. Wow.
Yeah.
But that was truly what I was thinking of when it came to this topic. Is I wanted to think of something community based, and how do we I go to sleep every single night, and I go, man, one day we're gonna be as big as Street Fighter. One day people are gonna want to sit there and gasp at the plays and gasp at the hype moments, and like it's going to happen one day. Do you understand realistically that that's not going to happen because of, or you ready? I want us to be as big as chess or billiards or like these, or these like it's impossible to be as big as the FGC because the FGC plays 4-minute games as opposed, or 8-minute games in Melee, or 99-second games in these 2D fighters, and we're playing an hour-long match, sometimes longer in top cuts. It's very hard to have exciting moments that entire hour, right? People get bored in 8-minute puff peach matches where the timeout's going to happen.
That's why I think we had time tops.
I agree.
Your games are like half an hour. You get half an hour for games.
Wow.
So then it maxes out at like an hour.
Wow.
And then they're just draws and just first person to win 2.
Wow. Okay, we're going to dive into that a little more, I guess.
Just other ideas. I just think it'd be more interesting.
No. We'll talk about it in just a second. So my question is do you think this is actually good for the game or not?
Play heroes and villains?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's terrific.
Yeah.
I think too many villains makes the game like it needs to be an even balance.
Yeah.
I totally agree, and it's like we're gonna have an influx of people coming into the game, and the people who are already good are not going to stop randomly being good.
Yeah.
The people who are topping at these events is not actually going to change unless these, and I'm just going to use this very broad brush, these My Hero kids come in from other card games and come and practice with these already established players. Like, I am positive that Shane Duckworth, I can't tell if Shane's a hero or a villain. I think he's a hero.
I'm like 50-50 right now.
Right? That's how I feel.
Yeah,
That's how I feel
it's super
too.
hard to tell.
But like, Shane Duckworth is going to dance around somebody playing this game. Like,
Yeah.
like I can.
Yeah.
Like, I've sat down at PTCs and I've been like, "Hi, I'm Tam. I've been playing this game for 2, almost 3, almost 4 years now. Holy shit!
Man, you're getting old.
I'm getting so old. I'm so established in the community. I've been playing this game for a while. Who are you? What's your background? Oh, I've been playing this game for about 6 months, and I played Magic before, and I was really good at Magic. I was top end Grand Prix all over the place, and I went, oh, okay. And then I bopped him game 1, and he's just missing so many things, and then I let him make it a real close game 2. Oh, but I got it. Oh, it was really close. You fucked up in these spots, and let me help you. But like, I don't see somebody coming in and just being like, oh, here you go. Like, the biggest success story that I can see is actually Mark Tyner, who I actually see as a villain. He's a villain with like a small spin as a hero, right?
He's the anti-hero. He's the anti-hero.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, he has to be, because
he
if
is-
Jake's the hero, then Mark Tyner has to be the anti-hero.
Right, true. It, like, he comes in and he spins this tale of like, oh no, I'm super shitty.
Get wrecked.
And that's the whole attitude I see from Mark. It's so rad. And
It's
like,
fantastic.
And people like Mark are what's gonna make the game interesting. People like Mark are who's going to infuriate. And I saw it, Garrett Brett. Garrett Brett was actually livid, not because of the plays that Mark was making, but because
Gary Brett was getting.
I thought Garrett Brett was getting tilted because of the plays that Mark was making, as well as the verbiage he was using as it was happening during the match. And so, that was my perception.
Really funny,
that was
Gary
my
Brett usually tilts other people.
that was my perception as watching the match, and it certainly made the match way more interesting. If we could have had Garrett Brett not be tilted and come back with quips and do all of this and take the game, that'd have been rad. Like, one of the stories of this, like, going in like a bad or even, like, honestly, like a proper direction was back at the Fremont PTC, back before you were playing.
Yeah.
Finals were Mason Johnson and Miles Tyler. Mason was playing Kim, Miles was playing Terry, and all of game 1, Mason was openly mocking Miles's deck and play style.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know about that
To
one.
the point where Miles was getting legitimately mad outside of the game. And Mason says it was because he was nervous. And Mason was saying all of this, but like, it was for sure because like Mason was trying to tilt his opponent, which is a totally legitimate strategy.
Yeah.
For a villain. And then Miles turns around in game 2 and turn 2's him. And Miles is like, now are you going to shut up and play a game? And Mason, at that point, was like, oh, yeah, sorry, man. And then did it a little bit in game 3 and still won. But it's like that verbal back and forth of not just playing the game, but like
Yeah.
playing the game.
It adds
like,
character.
against your opponent. It truly adds character. And I think that's what's going to happen if we want to make this more excitable to the viewer, to somebody watching, in order to grow it commercially, I guess.
Yeah.
I think that's something that we as an FGC, a fighting game community, could grow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to give a big shout out to all our Patreon producers. I didn't do it at the top of the show, but I'll do it right now. Andrew Dang, Jay Rogers, Yoram Melkor, Jarrett Hubbard, Clay Cardwell, Jerome Weeks Jr., Justin Farst, Sean Bauman, Tyler Zane Pease, William Stoll, and Tracy Cardwell. Hi, Mom. Thank you guys for going out to patreon.com/TCG University and supporting us at the $5 or more level to get a big shout out on the show. So tell me about this time to tops. What are you saying to me?
I'm just like, I think it'd be more interesting if like we played like half an hour games
Okay.
for tops. Because if they're gonna go long, who cares? Most of the matches almost always decided within like the first 3 turns, anyways, which is like 10 minutes on its own. So you have 10 minutes of somebody taking charge, and either they're gonna win another 10, or somebody's gonna even it out in the next 10, and then you have the long matches,
Yeah.
which makes it they have to decide inside the last 10. or it just goes vice versa and you just draw and then go to the next one because the 3 turns are what matter. Somebody either gets ahead, gets too much advantage, and wins, or somebody brings it back and ends up a long game.
Well,
because 45-minute games aren't interesting. They're just not.
well, I think that's really, really subjective. I think that's really,
It
really
is
subjective.
really subjective. I played like a 2-hour match the other day for the campus championship that no one's gonna watch. I thoroughly enjoyed that match.
Yeah, and so
But that's a me thing.
at that point, so we could then get to talk about like the viewer versus the player. The game should ultimately be the most fun for the player.
Yeah.
And so if you're having fun of these 2-hour matches, then we should keep them, right?
Well, I don't get to play 2 hours during rounds.
Well, you get to play 2 hours during Top Cuts.
Well, yeah.
Where your deck would shine. You have to be able to navigate the hour-long match as Stone Man in rounds, win in your 55 minutes, and be like, all right, kill me, idiot. And then in Top Cuts where you get to shine, you just play the game. It's like, how do you feel about changing up the timing rule for tops?
I think that we could very easily just make the timing for top cuts the same as timing for rounds, and it would be fine. But I also don't mind the untimed top cuts at all.
I just think like we have to the problem with making it the same thing is like you have to decide a winner. The winner still has to be decided.
Yeah.
Somebody has to move on.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't do. I think it'd be really cool if we shorten the time and the double elimination. Then you get the comeback.
Whoa. That sounds like a lot of extra time.
Yeah.
I also think we should start tournaments earlier. Tournaments shouldn't be starting at 11:30. They should be starting at probably about 10.
Well, the issue with that then is when do card shops open?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of them-
Normally
I just
they
mean-
open 11.
I gotta be like other games. Just rent out of place.
Rent out a place?
Yeah.
So the point of a tournament like that is to help the store that's hosting it make money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that means they have to pull all their shit out and then put it in a spot, which is actually costing them more money. Yeah,
It's
I
it's
hear what
fine
you're
for
saying.
majors, but that doesn't work for outside of majors.
I mean, it works for other games.
Other games are also bigger than us.
Like way
though.
bigger.
Yeah.
As soon as we
Play-
have
Hey, play big, win big.
as soon as we have a 300 person PTC, I'm super down to go rent out a hotel.
We're not gonna throw the person PTs.
We could quit being such a pessimist.
We're not even at 100 yet.
Quit
Let's
being-
wait till we get to 100
quit
to start
being a-
talking about bigger numbers.
Quit being a pessimist. I'm down for that.
I think double elimination would make things a lot cooler. So you don't run into your weirdest matchup in top first round. Just get knocked out for no reason.
Well, I mean,
At least you get a second chance to try and do it.
that's like jumping into another topic that I just thought of right now.
I actually think having losers bracket and stuff like that in tops would make tops a lot more interesting to watch as well, because it's like these two people
Then
in
you
the
could really get your heroes and villains going.
yeah, because like you have these two
Your
people.
hero makes the losers run.
Yeah. You have these people that are in the losers bracket and they're like facing off, and you're just like, well, if someone loses this, they're out. So this guy has to win. He pulls off this play that wins him the game, and it's the hypest shit ever.
How sick would it be? So we had the top 16, and then we had the losers bracket at Rockford as well.
Yeah.
And Mark Tyner beats Garrett and knocks him into losers bracket, and then they meet back up at the finals.
Oh,
How sick would
that
that
would be
Yeah.
so cool. That would have been sick.
I would have loved a second chance to fight Mark. So I'd be do the math on top
Time?
16 time wise. Here you go. Do the math top 16 time wise. Like how long would it take as I talk to Travis? Like I'm down for that, but I also think like one of the things that in order to make that happen, you have to have I think what we should do is change up the venue, right?
Yeah.
I think we should actually change up how the venue works. And I'm thinking, so PTCs don't matter, but PTCs don't matter. This would just be for, like, if I was going to nationals, I would totally suggest this to Ryan.
Yeah.
Whenever we do our top 16, I want all the tables to be even, right?
Yeah.
We have, like, if this is the representation of our table, I want first and 16th here, and I want second and 15th. That's
Yeah,
how math works.
15th, yeah.
15th here. I want to spread the tables away and like let people walk around and behind the matches.
Yeah.
I'm super down for that. I like every time there's ever a top cut, I'm never off playing extra games or whatever. I'm always watching every single top cut and just like moving on, scrolling like old school television of like, oh, there's a commercial here. Oh, they're just building. All right, I'll jump to the next game. Oh, I'll jump to the next.
Oh yeah,
game.
having like 16 different tables or not 16, it would be 8 different tables, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
8 different tables for all the people playing their top cut matches would be sick, and just like have them in separate parts of like close together but separate, so like people can walk around and like see what's going on. Because that is definitely a very cool idea of like, oh man, it's a commercial, they're building, nothing's happening, I guess I'll move over here. Oh, we just killed him. Time to go back to the next place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it certainly is, and like crowds get gathered around more exciting games than others, and and like you almost get rewarded for like doing a good job.
Yeah.
Like we already have a sponsored system. We've got Rochester, we've got Rockford CCG, we've got Legendary Wolf Games, we've got TCGU.
Yep.
And so like we've already got these other sponsored players of like, oh, you're a TCGU guy, oh, you're a Rockford guy.
Yep.
And so like it'd be interesting to see those thread lines as well.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. I just want to remind you guys that this episode is brought to you by Cards Custom Build. If you like nerdy costumes or props or other nerd memorabilia, go out to Cards Custom Build out on Facebook. You can also find them on Etsy. And I've got a deal for you guys. If you mention the fact that you saw me on the podcast, this is actually my dad. And he said that he'd give any UFS crew, any UFS watchers, $5 off of their order if you come and say that you supported the show. So any of the cool costumes that you've seen, like you see up on screen right now of me as Scorpion or me as Dr. Wily, that was all made as Cards Custom Build. Plus, here's some of his other stuff that he's done. He's an incredible builder, and he takes requests. So the next major, maybe somebody wants to come dress up as a My Hero character. Reach out to Cards Custom Builds out on Facebook or Etsy, and he'd love to get back to you. So with that, back to the show. All right, so you got
Camera froze again.
Yeah, 31 hours.
Yeah.
31 hours sounds
God.
like forever.
A little more
Well, it'd have
UFS
to
than I'd be
it'd have
willing
be
to
a 2-day
play.
tops. It's like it's like it would be an entire Friday, Saturday, Sunday of singles.
When is teams in?
I'm only worried about singles. I don't care about teams.
Okay, all right. In this hypothetical world, we
This
don't have
hypothetical world,
teams.
Teams could be like teams. Worlds would be a fun entire format on its own. I think. Same thing. Top 16.
No,
Why?
we don't have enough people currently.
Well,
Because you ready?
Remember
Because you ready?
Remember what this was for?
Yeah.
Was the hypothetical.
Right. So if we could have top 16 in teams, that means that all of those people asterisks are going to be playing singles, which means that we're not going to have top 16 for singles. We're going to have top 32.
Let me do the math on top 30.
No. We double it.
Yeah.
That's not true. It doesn't double
Why would it not double?
because each one added more matches. I'm gonna do the math.
All right, this sounds like a waste of time. 31 hours is 1,000,000 hours.
Yeah.
That's a whole day of playing games.
That's
Yeah.
that's a little more UFS
do
than
you know
I'd
how-
willing to play.
That's how fighting games are for big tournaments.
No, I get it. I totally get it. But they also
And they also play a lot more rounds than we'd have to.
true. But I wonder what the actual clocked game time is for a player. Like I wonder because like
Would depend
we
on the
go
deck.
and we play for like 8, 9, 10, 12 hours straight in a tournament. If you go and you win a major,
You're playing
like
for a very
Ashley
long time.
played for like 14 hours that day.
Yeah.
Because you played 7 rounds of Swiss, and we'll say that all of those went to time. There's 7 hours of gameplay
Yep.
plus running through top 16.
Plus in between matches, plus lunch break.
Right. I'm like it's like 14 hours as
Which
is.
is why I think we should start earlier.
Well, yes.
Which is why I think we need venue changes.
Well, okay. I don't think we can change that for national for majors.
I'm just-
I think our major venues are great. Maybe
Majors. I'm not. I'm
So
talking about PTC.
well, who cares about PTCs? We'll never get a top 16 like this.
Yeah.
We don't have the time on a weekend for that.
I just mean like on regular, just our normal top 16s, top 8s. If you start early enough, you can finish early enough.
Once again, I agree with you, but you gotta jerk off the store owner. Like I don't. That's truly what it is.
Yeah.
Jumping around a smidge. this is something we haven't really talked about. What do you guys think the best Yu Yu Hakusho player or Yu Yu Hakusho character is for new players?
For new players?
If we had to pick 3 unique characters, if you were like, so it's very easy for all of us to be like, oh, you want to play UniVersus? Pick any Street Fighter vs. Darkstalkers character, buy all of their support.
Yeah.
There you go. Who is the Lord Raptor of this set? Who is the word like, oh, I'm just gonna jam all of his support in my deck. I got a competitive one.
Yusuke.
Kuwabara. And Suzaku, actually.
Suzaku. Even though you gotta get 4 characters?
Yep.
So Yusuke. Why Yusuke?
I mean, Yusuke just gets to play a lot of his own support because it synergizes very well with what he's trying to do. And there's not much else that you really need outside of his own support because, like, Spirit Shotgun and Spirit Gun are busted in him. And, like, that's all you really need as far as attacks go in that character. The rest is, like, you can just jam his support. So, like, you can put in Spirit Charge Punch and Spirit Charge Kick into the deck and then just, like, some random attack. It's not really that hard.
It's cheap. Does cool things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still got 2 keywords.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So people should play Yusuke.
Yeah.
I said Kuwabara because his support kind of just runs itself.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll get 3 face downs. Well, my ability lets me get this face down. Well, I'll pick up this face down. Just automatically just does everything itself.
Okay.
There's not a lot of tech to it. It's just I gave myself face downs. I'm picking these face downs up. I'm playing them again. Nice and simple. You know, like so, like for like Hiei, you have to do a bunch of techie things.
Yeah.
Botan's again a very techie, weird. You have to make your opponent do things so you get better, kind of thing. You get Karamo, which is a reversal character, which I think is a little more rough for newer players. Like win to block, win to play reversal is a little harder.
Yeah.
Byakko is a mill character, and I think new players will just mill indiscriminately.
Yeah.
And then what's the last character I can't think of that's not Suzaku, unless I just missed it.
Rando.
Yep.
Rando's the same thing. Those indiscriminately do things.
Yeah.
As well as knowing which way to do certain matchups and whatnot.
And so
I picked Suzaku because it's easy to go. I play this attack. If it hits you, I get a character. I'm going to build up all my characters, drop this 7 diff using Punch and Duties because that's an easy combo anybody can play. And then I'll dump this to make this a 14 damage attack for free.
Okay.
And then I'll add these characters back for later.
Yeah. Yep.
I just think they're the 3 simplest. I like, understandably, I don't know if you put the essay on the write-up I did about the boxes we opened for Yu Hakusho on Patreon. But I talked about how, like, even with Suzaku's things, I think it's bad for the game that Suzaku was printed like that. Being a stacker character and short printing all of them is uncommons.
Yeah.
I still think he's one of the better ones.
Really?
Yeah. For, like, new players?
It's interesting. Okay. So the asterisk is there for new players. Yeah.
I think it's support.
Do you agree with James's 3 characters?
Yeah. I would agree with that. I don't think that outside of those characters that people should, like, new players should really be trying. Well, they can try them, but, like, they shouldn't look to venture too far deep into the more techie characters in the set. So, like, the Kuramas and the Hieis and the Botans of the set. Sticking to the 3 that we mentioned is, like, the most vanilla and probably the best route you can go because, honestly, I think Yusuke is the best character in the set, if not Kuwabara. Like, those 2 are pretty interchangeably the best characters in the set.
If we just go base? If we're just doing basic?
Yeah.
For everything. Cause, like,
I think for everything, Kuwabara is probably the best character in the set.
I actually think it's Hiei. I just don't think anybody's really built Hiei yet.
Asterisk.
What's the asterisk?
So I think Hiei is a little too slow. He likes to play this a little bit of a longer game, and he likes to build up his momentum and stuff before you just kill them, which means he has a lot of polarizing matchups. Like, that character can never beat Jeddah, ever. I played that matchup playing Hiei at LWG the first time I took Hiei there, and it felt awful. It didn't matter that I got to rebuild whatever he put into my momentum, because the character as a whole wants to stack momentum to the roof, and Jeddah's just like, well, if you do that, your attacks aren't going to deal damage anymore. So it felt really awful.
Okay.
And he also has a really hard time against discard hate if you aren't main boarding 4 of the Jedha Foundation, which even then, you still have to see them.
Oh, discarding momentum.
Yeah, just making people pitch momentum.
Man, I think Hiei is like just such a win more character. I actually think he is insane. Your opponent has to have perfect blocks in order to make Hiei work. I think the issue with Hiei is the fact that I played against James's shitty Hiei deck whenever he first built it, and as Jedha, I was having an issue of it was just such a dumb stalemate of, okay, all your attacks do nothing. All right, well, he successfully blocked my thing. Well, okay, I'm not getting any real value out of like throwing your shit in your momentum because everything is I can't stop you from getting rid of that momentum. You're just gonna play it back out. I never felt like I was in control of the momentum, which is like what
Jedha
wants. So I think people, and if this was me making Hiei, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have no reason to Mondo stack on momentum. All stacking free momentum is like I think I'd play 4 of the
Yukina.
Not even that. I think I'd play 4 of the attack, the 4 low for 4 that stuff's a free one.
Yeah.
But besides that, I wouldn't do any momentum ramping. I just wouldn't. I would play a real honest game, and all my character said was mill 2, right?
Yeah.
For 2 speed. Don't care about the look at the hand, and every time that I hit you, I draw a card. That's what that says. Every time I hit you, I draw a card next turn. And so my opponent knows that if they want to do anything, I'm going to hold my 6 cards, and I hit you with 3 attacks. Cool. I'll just play these attacks again. All right, I'll play 1 more attack out of my hand. They all still hit again, even for partials. All right, I'll put them all back, and I have 5 in my hand to block with. All right, go ahead. Like that's such a good way to play that character. Like you don't have to be like, me and my 13 momentum are gonna spirit bomb you to death with this missile. Like gives a shit. Just smack them with the missile launcher once. Give it the 2 speed. Give it 4 more speed and be like, all right, well I got 6 extra speed coming on my missile launcher every single turn. And because I play the missile launcher out of my momentum, I don't have to use this card to block with or to attack with. I'll hold it for my block. Super good.
So like. Regarding the Jedha matchup, was that not before UU had actually released when James had the list proxied?
Yeah.
Jedha changed a lot with UU.
That's fair.
We got Toguro Brothers. We got Friends and Rivals, which I played against Mason. That card's actually insane in him.
Okay.
You can change your attack lineup a little to play Capsules at because it builds in Guardian of the Spirit Sword, Karen Soul, and Friends and Rivals.
Sure.
And it also shares 2 symbols with your character. So, like, against Hiei, he's slow. So all you have to do is sit there. Oh, I'm going to dig for Friends and Rivals. Eventually, I'm going to stun you 6 whenever I play an attack. And you're not going to be able to do anything about it.
Yeah.
And, like, there's no way for him to actually deal with that unless he just kills the Jedha player, which is really hard because Jedha is the way he is.
Sure.
That's why I think that matchup is very polarizing, and I think it's like a 90-10 in Jedha's favor.
I can see it, but at the same time, like, I haven't played it, so I guess I'll just have to defer to you.
Yeah.
Suzaku, Yusuke, and Kuwabara, the 3 characters. Why
Mhm.
not Rando? Because Rando was going to be on my list.
Rando's really easy to play just because reduction exists. Like, people have found out there's things that turn off reduction.
Sure.
Playing
Precise blow.
So, like,
Does it for free.
playing that character the way a player like Jeremy Ray would play him, because he was playing Rando for teams, and killing without reduction in that deck is actually not that easy.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So, like, you have to know how to play your lines so you can kill them without reduction.
I guess, like, what I'm saying is, like, as a new player, just being like, oh,
I think it'd be a fun new character thing.
your
Like,
attack is really good.
I think
I'm
on
just
that
going to
aspect,
steal your attack and
Yeah.
blow you out with it.
I think I would put him as, like, the 4th most cookie cutter character in the set.
Did you make that?
No,
Okay.
I found it.
All right.
It was under the Rockford Street.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
It's a picture that says Rando glances at your opponent's discard pile. Hannah here.
Yeah.
I'll give Tyler this so he can.
I guess I guess the last topic that I had of the game of the podcast was we've played a couple matches of Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
You've played a lot more online than I have.
Oh yeah.
I have this
I
really
used to
sick
play.
Rayquaza deck. Ooh, it's hype.
I used to.
Ooh,
Play.
it's hype.
I also used to play.
I also used to play,
Okay.
but I stopped after Goblin God Games stopped having locals there because like the community kind of died out. Back when it was meta, I played Mono Darkrai, and that deck was nuts.
I know nothing about that, but what I can tell you is I sat down with Tyler and I played a game, and he put a singular Pokemon out that said, "Hey, the 4 main ways that you kill things don't affect this Pokemon."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, this is going to be a really hard matchup for you right now, right off the bat, because I opened this guy, or on my turn 2, I searched him out and placed him down."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Wow, that's really, really strong." And he goes, "Yeah. Your deck also auto loses to this, this, and this." Do you feel like there are any characters right now that are just auto lose besides, I guess, Jetta?
Yeah, he and Vegeta. I think Slinka and Yusuke is an auto lose matchup most of the
For
time.
who?
For Slinka.
Oh yeah.
Moon Ritual Dance just isn't a card in that matchup.
Oh, because of -2 damage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really rough.
sounds it.
I got down paired into Kevin at LWG shoutouts for the PTC in the last round, but which was the match that decided whether I was going to get tops or not.
Yeah.
Down paired into Yusuke and died because I didn't have a card in my deck. Basically.
What card?
Well, it wasn't that I didn't have a card. It's just that Moon Ritual Dance did not function in that matchup. So basically, I didn't have a card in my deck.
Okay.
It was really rough.
That's fair. Do you think there any auto win? Do you think there's anything so volatile, like to the point where I saw him play that card and I wanted to scoop up my cards?
What are the?
There's a microphone right here.
What are the 3 symbols for Shinnok?
All
Death, evil.
Solid. Goro Shinnok.
Goro Shinnok.
Yep.
Why?
Cool. You picked up cards. I'll mill 2, destroy 1. I'll Toguro Brothers, destroy 1. I'll use Spirit Gun, destroy 1. I'll Moonset at the back.
Well, he doesn't have a
Doesn't get
moonset.
Moonset, but
Moonset doesn't. Moonset
No.
doesn't.
No.
Okay.
I was
But
thinking.
You
Sacrifice
still
One.
definitely get to play Death, Spirit Shotgun, Spirit Gun stuff.
You
him.
don't get to trigger Shinnok off of Goro
What?
You don't.
because
He says
Does
he
not
says
character?
draw.
he
not
says draw
add.
cards.
I swear it's both.
No.
Nope.
It says
You
a-
do get to trigger it off of Jackie. I think Shinnok Jackie is like an impossible matchup. for
Oh
her.
yeah,
Okay.
she's a 5-hander that draws cards every turn.
Yeah.
So
This is gonna be a fun one to edit. Yeah. Where the camera freeze, but it's chill. I think like Lilith versus
Nah.
Jackie is like almost impossible.
oh yeah,
I think Lilith has that mentality of if you're playing big swingy singular bombs, they just don't do anything.
Yeah.
So like I see that there are some characters. I think like Lord Raptor is this way of like, oh man, I have literally no responses in my deck. You're just gonna go buck wild on your turn. I think there are some characters that like have this. I don't think it's matchup defining or matchup demolishing, right? But like there are certainly some really hard games.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything in our game right now that, oh, you're playing that character, I should actually just scoop.
Yeah. That's just because of the card pool, though.
Yeah, because of what our decks do,
Yeah.
as opposed to the character.
Yep.
Being so
Because, like, initially, if you look
Reliant.
at it, like, the Taisei versus Torn matchup is absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
And then if you actually just kind of think about it, it's not. Like, when Taisei, when, like, the format first developed, because, like, oh, you gave it throw. I have Demon Realm.
Mhm.
You gave it throw. I'll make it deal nothing. You gave it throw. This one's a off zone. I'll block with prepare to fight.
Yeah.
yeah.
You just had a bunch of options that like just get around what usually would just be an auto loss.
I mean, yeah, especially now, like you have stuff like Kieran Soul which is just like really good against A, Spirit Shotgun, and B, Throw. So
I and this is me. I haven't played the deck, but I actually think sitting down as most characters right now versus Stone Man is that way.
It's a very uphill battle.
It is such an uphill battle.
yeah.
Like, you know who does
If I
it?
didn't want to sit around for literal 9 hours, I would play Stillman.
Yeah?
It's one game and I'll win. It's whatever.
I-
But I don't want to sit around for 9 hours having to think about a match.
That
the
is
entire time.
that, but I do. Like, I would super go and play that deck.
Dude, if you want, I know I built that Stillman deck.
I wouldn't play it under Earth.
Oh, you're so
Yeah.
you'd be lame.
I'd play it under Order because I get passing the torch, and Stoneman not being a 5-hander is just like really good.
Yeah, we get Solemn Exorcism.
Yeah, but that means I have to not have a hand, as opposed to passing the torch where I'm just like, oh, I play this attack. I'll
And if I
replace
don't
it.
have
Oh,
a
I've got
hand.
3 of these. I'll commit all these and draw all this. Oh, hey, look at that.
And like if I don't have a hand, I'll draw 2.
Right.
I think that passing the torch is just like,
Passing Torch is a very good card.
yeah, it is. I think it's better than Exorcism in some cases. Obviously, it's not a spam, but like,
Who gives a shit?
yeah,
Spam with Breaker 2 and a high block.
Who gives a shit?
like not having cards in your hand and drawing 2 is a lot better than not having cards and drawing 1. And like having cards in hand and drawing 1 regardless is also better.
Psalm Exorcism is dead 90% of the time.
Yeah.
That's fine. It says commit for 1.
James, I hate to break it to you, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Every card says commit for 1.
Yes.
Unless they say
you
commit for 2, right?
Yep.
Unless that affects even worse than the one that I'm mentioning.
No, what I mean by like it says commit for 1 is just like even when it's not dead, it does something. There are cards that just don't do anything, and have nothing that they do. Like if you build a syndicate target,
Yeah.
that card actually does nothing.
Except for commits for 1.
Yeah, it doesn't have a secondary ability. Though.
Yeah,
At
but-
least Solemn, like if you get to the chance, may give you something.
Maybe.
Just a little.
Like, you gotta play it correctly. It's also how you play your cards. That's why I think that card's really good. 5-handers get to abuse it, and abuse it. Sure. I'll just slap my entire hand on the board. Your turn. I'll draw and defend myself. That's why I think Earth 5-handers are very, very strong.
Anywho, I think Stoneman sitting down across from a rando
Oh yeah.
gets to absolutely demolish them.
Oh, I
You
don't.
give +2 speed, I'll give it -2 damage. You give it +2 damage, I'll give it -2 damage. Did you rando for another 1/1? Yeah, I'll give it another -2 damage, another -2 damage. -8 because of your +3 damage.
Yeah.
Eat my -5 damage, asshole.
That sounds
of
like an
one
awful
trigger?
matchup.
Yeah, it's like you don't get to play your character. You just don't.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or like Kurabara has to keep everything at base stats, or else he has to use his own ability in order to stack it back up. I'll respond, or I'll pick these 3 cards up and give this 3/3. I'll give it -4 speed.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, it'll get blocked. Rad. Oh man, that one card is being an issue. I'll commit my character since you're done attacking, and I'll commit 2 cards.
I actually think that's the best ability on that character.
I don't know. There's
Stun 3 is really good.
Stun 3's pretty good too.
Stun 3 and Deadlock is very good, but like selectively committing to is insane.
Why would I selectively commit 2 when I can stun 3 on all my fucking attacks?
That is true. That is true.
I just think that
How do we get them to build into Deadlock? Forcibly.
Forcibly
Wiley's forge.
keep throwing fast attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think it's part of the reason our game is so healthy as UniVersus is there's nothing that's unbelievably like
Yeah.
like I watched and hilariously I watched Keenan Meadows beat Asmad Pro playing Punch and Judy beat a Stone Man in top 8 of the of the worlds that you got second place
I beat him the next round, yeah.
It was
He beat the Dimitri
Wow.
player siding into Stoneman.
yeah, which is just a feat unto itself.
Yeah.
But at the same time, probably because Stoneman got a little unlucky, right?
Yeah.
He should not have won the matchup. Man, I just want to play Stoneman. I would super play Stoneman for teams.
If you're down, I think it's a good character for teams.
Man, maybe for Worlds.
Maybe for World.
So with that, thank you very much for watching the show. If you like the content, please go out and support us at patreon.com/TCG University. Everything helps keeps the lights on.
Yep.
From all of us here at TCGU, stay learned.
Get learned.
Been learned.
We'll see you next time, guys. Thank you so much.